remember, of course, the Susan G. Komen Foundation controversy. They took away funding from Planned Parenthood, and then they came back later and backpedaled and said, we will later reconsider Planned Parenthood's funding like we do with any other group. We will not take these political hearings into account. And remember, the Republicans started a hearing against Planned Parenthood, and that was the excuse the Susan G. Komen Foundation had used to take away funding from Planned Parenthood. And of course, the money did not go to abortions. It went for breast cancer examinations. Hundreds of thousands of women, over 700,000 women get breast exams at Planned Parenthood. They took money away from that. That's why everybody was so mad. Well, one of the people that was accused of orchestrating this was Karen Handel, who is a right-winger, who's a very important VP for Susan G. Komen Foundation. Now, I argued both on the Young Turks Online and the Young Turks on Current that, hey, we don't know that she necessarily orchestrated and was the reason behind this. And I want right-wingers and left-wingers to work together to help find a cure, et cetera. I don't want this to become political. And hence, to be honest, I had defended her to some degree. Not to say that she didn't do anything wrong, but I wasn't sure that she should be fired because I thought there wasn't enough evidence. Well, there is now. An insider has come out and told Huffington Post, and by the way, this is very important, shown internal emails to this effect, proving her case, that in fact, it was Karen Handel who had engineered this for political reasons. Let me give you some of the quotes. The insider said that Karen Handel basically told the leadership at Susan G. Komen, quote, if we just say it's about investigations, we can defund Planned Parenthood and no one can blame us for being political. In other words, we're gonna be political, but if we just say it's about the investigation, we'll pretend it's not political. And by the way, this is at the same time, of course, the Republicans are doing those hearings. You think that at some point, in some way, that's not coordinated either? Like golly gee willikers, look at that. The right-winger inside Susan G. Komen and a right-winger inside Congress working together to make sure they strip away money from Planned Parenthood. Now, you see the internal source here proving that, in fact, it was a coordinated attack and a conspiracy, and one that was purely political, launched by Karen Handel. Now, here are more quotes from that insider. Every time someone would even mention a protest, she, meaning Karen Handel, would magnify it, pump it up, exaggerate it. She's the one that kept driving this issue. Now, what she's referring to here is there'd be some minor protest that Susan G. Komen Foundation should not be giving to Planned Parenthood. Never amounted to anything. But every time anybody brought it up, internally, Karen Handel would be like, oh my God, look at these protests. It's causing us so much political trouble. We've got to get rid of this problem. The best way to get rid of it is to defund Planned Parenthood from Susan G. Komen. So just, okay, all right. And so she's ginning it up. See, the reason I had defended her earlier is because I don't care what your ideology is if you're working towards the same cause. But now we find out she wasn't working towards that cause at all. She's basically inside Susan G. Komen working for her own cause, which is the defund Planned Parenthood. She cares much more about abortion than she does about breast cancer. Great, then go work at an abortion unit. Work at a pro-life group. Don't come in here and try to undermine the efforts of the rest of the foundation for your own political agenda. And here's the third quote. It was apparent to everyone in the organization that Karen was doing everything in her power to defund Planned Parenthood. Well, again, if this was just one insider and she didn't back it up with emails, you might wonder. But Huffington Post said they had they looked at the emails, it backed up what she said totally. So then it's an open and shut case. No question, Karen Handel should be fired immediately. It's not because she's a right-winger. It's because she doesn't give a damn about breast cancer. She cares about her own pet issue of being pro-life, pro-abortion, and she cares about undermining that at the cost of helping fight breast cancer. So you Planned Parenthood doesn't get money to do 700,000 breast exams? Apparently, Karen Handel doesn't give a damn, as long as she gets to do her political agenda and do a hatchet job on Planned Parenthood. No question whatsoever now that the evidence is in, fired immediately. And if they don't, there should be consequences. So you think Susan G. Komen Foundation has done the right thing? Not yet, not by a long shot.